There's been a lot of questions as to why Victoria's Secret hasn't cast any transgender or plus-size models in their annual fashion show. We discussed this last week, and we all had our different takes on it. Their chief marketing officer responded to the criticism, even some that came from our show here, so maybe they directly responded to us. And said, we market to who we sell to. We don't market to the whole world. And would go on to apologize by saying, I apologize later because there was some backlash, said we absolutely would cast a transgender. We've had transgender models come to castings and they simply didn't make it. So came out strong saying, look, this is our brand, this is who it's for. We make no apologies. Then a little bit of traction came from that, and then there was an apology. So I guess the question to you guys is Victoria's Secret, did they have to apologize? Was their initial stance okay to you?
So to clarify, the part that they apologized for is for when they said that transgender models, it's not a, quote, fantasy, and they have to deliver a fantasy. So that's the part he's apologizing for. But the brand part, that was what that was your idea that you had last week.
Yeah, I mean, I really felt like, you know, you're not responsible as a brand who has a product to make it for everybody. Yeah. I mean, that's just simply not what it is. Like, there's men's stores, there's women's stores, there's plus size, there's non-plus size. That'd be like saying Lane Bryant is doing a disservice to those who are not plus size. Yeah. That's not fair. Yeah. So I thought, to me, it spoke to the fact that this is what they're doing. They're not trying to exclude anybody. They're just saying these are who our clothes are for.
Yeah. I'm just glad that they're having to answer these questions. Like, I think we're not at the point that we want to be where they're more inclusive, but I think having discussions like this and seeing them make a statement and then have to apologize for that statement is actually ultimately leading us to the goal of being more inclusive. And I think Victoria's Secret will have a transgender model. I think it might not be this year, it might not be next year, but I think in the next few years, they're going to want to adapt that because people are more accepting of that now. So it's crazy for them not to.
Yeah, I get your point, and I can respect what you guys are saying for as far as the brand and respect the brand. This is their prerogative. This is what they're choosing to do. I think it becomes different when it's on TV and it's such a big brand and such a large scale. Then that makes me feel like they have more of a responsibility. You know, it's on television. It's broadcasted around the world.
But they're not a nonprofit organization. They're a for-profit company. Like, this is what they're choosing to sell to. So I don't know that it is their responsibility. I think it's smart of them and they should, but I don't know.
It feels like me to like a place that sells only meat. Well, there's a lot of vegans out there and they're a louder voice nowadays. Yeah. Is there a responsibility for them to say, here's our vegan option? Some do that. Yeah. But
I'll go to those restaurants if they have it. Like, it's a smart business move for them to do it.
But are they responsible to do that? I guess
no, and they can do what they want, and I won't go to those places. But when they're opening their doors to more people, so you'd think that they would want to.
Swap out everything you're saying and then put race in there. Like, then does it become okay or not okay?
But I guess that's a little bit different of an area because, look, this is a clothing line that says this is who we're marketing towards, people in this type of shape. There's also several clothing stores out there that have the same thing. Look, Lululemon's a perfect example. I'm a bigger guy. I can rarely find stuff at a store that I like that fits me. So what about the bigger guy there?
Yeah, so they're not getting your money.
To me, I think it's unfair to infuse race into it because black women, white women can both go to Victoria's Secret. It's just a certain type of figure can go to Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, I still feel like it's the same conversation, though, to be like, well, that's not who we market to. That's not our target audience. I feel like it could still be.
I hear you. I think that's kind of one that could, there's definitely a gray area.
We'll see the evolution coming up.
Well, how do we feel about group texting, everybody?
Love it.
Do you really?
Okay, so one loves it.
The only person in America.
A lot of people feel like it's an email chain that you may not want to be on, everybody, and there are a bunch of numbers of people you don't even know on those, or maybe it's just simply time consuming. You're trying to do something and bzz, 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 bzz. There's 20 people texting you. It can be annoying.
It can be annoying if there's a lot of people that you don't know. I was on a group text this summer when I was traveling in Europe, and it was a huge group, and there were a lot of numbers I didn't know, and so I was like, ugh. And I tend to not participate in those. But like a small group text with maybe like 6 people or less, it's really fun. It's a really fun way to stay connected. I started a new thing with my family this last Sunday, and I was like, guys, how about if every Sunday we send a picture from our week so we can just stay connected? We all live in different places. It's cool. I got to see the coffee shop that my brother got to work remotely out of. I got to see my sister who had all these elk in her yard. Like, I got to see my other sister at a wedding on another coast. Like, it was awesome. And so I think for things like that, it can be really great.
I love that. That's a good idea.
Feel free to adapt it.
I might just do it.
Yeah.
I just don't like when it's like, when it's the buddies. Your buddies are the ones who ruin a text chain, at least in my opinion. It's like when they have a funny joke, they think it's hilarious. then one guy plays off it, then another bounces off it, then you've gone down this entire path.
A rabbit hole.
Complete disinterest on my end, and I'm trying to go through my day, and it's always in a group chain. Something's interesting to 1, 2, or 3 people. But what about 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8? And that's why I don't like it. And everybody out there, don't be afraid to leave the text chain. There's now
But
an
then it
option on
says
your
this
phone.
person left the conversation.
Make that statement, Carly. Tell them you don't want to be a part of
That's
it.
savage, Jordan.
Yeah.
That's savage.
Are you a read receipt person on your phone?
No.
Does it say whether or not?
I'll
No
get a text
way.
occasionally. Somebody will say, hey, you got the read receipt on, meaning it'll let people know when you read that text.
I hope one day
I get rid of that immediately.
I aspire to that, where people see I read your message, I just didn't respond on purpose. But for now, I'm not.
You're not there
I can't
yet.
do it. I
You're not
can't
there
do it.
yet.
I'm scared.
We,
I'm
my
scared of the
girlfriends and I
repercussions.
from college also have a text where we'll like blow up each other when like someone does something really cool. Like one of my friends flew on a private jet and it was just through her company, but
that's
she
cool.
ended up getting to fly on
cool.
Instagram. So I screenshot and I sent to everybody. I was like, look who's leveled up in this world. And then like other people, like we compliment each other and it's really
It
cool.
can be fun.
It's a
It
good
can-
way to stay connected.
I feel like people's schedules, like my schedule's so go. Like I'm already having enough trouble responding to text messages. And so many people, I'm just like, how do you have that time? Like, how do you have
Yeah.
enough time to go back
You
and
gotta
forth
read it at
all
the end
day?
of the day.
I'm a
Yeah.
phone call person for sure. With the holiday season upon us, we have to be careful of the target effect. You guys know what the target effect
Yeah,
is, right?
I didn't know this was the word, but now I know.
It's
No,
when you
I
go
didn't know
in-
I had a diagnosed problem.
Yeah,
I know.
everybody has it, so don't feel ashamed. It's when you go into the store, you just need a toothbrush, you just need a bottle of shampoo, and you come out of there, you look at your receipt, and you're like, why is it this long?
Yes!
What is $100 that I've spent
That's
here?
a
How
good
did this
day.
happen? It's that unintended overspending that can be a problem. How do you stage your own personal target intervention? Because the holidays are here.
I
You're gonna
don't
be
want
spending
a
lot of
Target
money.
intervention. I love going to Target. Going to Target and just letting Target tell you what you need is self-care.
You guys,
It just feels so good. Like I live near tiny like city Targets in
Yeah.
the city, and so I went to one like a couple weeks ago, like a big supersized Target, and I just this feeling of relief just rushed over my body, and I was like, I can't wait to just spend like 2 hours in here looking at everything.
you guys,
I love it.
It's a little disturbing.
I have to tell you
It's so
something.
relaxing.
My name is Felicia, and I have a Target problem.
You're in it too, huh?
I'm in it. I just went this weekend and I
Embrace
spent, I'm not
it.
going to tell you how much I spent, but I'll tell you some of the things I walked out with. I got a blow up mattress. I got one of those skillet griddles that you can make flapjacks and eggs on and make breakfast for the whole family.
But you already
I
have
got
a regular
like
skillet.
6 different pillows. I got like a hanger that goes on the back of my door. I got all the assorted soaps and lotions.
It's so easy at Target because you can
Oh
return
my
everything
gosh.
too. Like if you decide you don't want it later, they'll just take it back. Like 90 days or 120 days if you're a Target red member.
Yeah.
It's great. Feelings
That's
at
a
Target, Jordan?
problem.
I'm very disturbed
Do
by
you
you two
love
right now.
Target?
I don't love shopping.
Does your girl love
period.
Target?
Oh,
Yes, she
Jordan.
does. I'll tell you this. Target is great, and we got one of the little mini Target stores at the top of our street,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah,
then.
so it's not the superstore, but you do go in and you're like, hey, I need to get maybe some shampoo. Then you're like, okay, I need deodorant.
Yes.
Oh, they got cologne on discount right
Yeah.
now. I need some milk. We need some coffee.
I got sparkling wine. I was like, oh, I could always use this.
I know. You never feel bad buying it though either because it's mostly stuff you need. So when you get
Yeah.
those other things, you're just like, well, it's Target, so it's things I
I
need.
love that store. I'll never
It
give
just
it up.
feels so good to go there.
Target, we just gave them a pretty good promotion.
I know. I'm like, their logo's up here.
You guys
They're
owe
not
us money.
sponsoring this segment. It's just that great of a store.
Target does help you out for sure.